and provides them with the opportunity to develop leadership skills and confidence. Additionally, through our partnership with Princeton Reach Out, our students participate in college awareness and preparation sessions. Please help me as we welcome our Volunteer of the Year, Tom Welsh.
Thank you so much, and thank you for coming to this event and supporting the Morristown Neighborhood House. And thank you to Cornerstone for taking Neighborhood House in and securing its future. It's a very important thing. In addition to thanking Patty for all she's done, I have to just thank Judy Pierce for the incredible job. I never knew how much work something like this was. Judy was helped tremendously by Katie Olson, and I want to appreciate everything she's done, and I want everybody else. And then a special friend and very close person to me, a daughter, Lisa Welsh. There's a lot of people to thank. Two people in my office, Sue Russin and Diane Crowell, for finding, well, this is very important. They found a picture of me with hair. It was back 20 years ago when I first started to volunteer, so it's very appropriate. So if you want to see what a guy looks like, you know, with the airbrush in, just take a look in the brochure and you'll see it. My son said to me, "My God, how old were you when they took this picture?" So the tutoring program started a number of years ago at lunch with three friends, Stuart Sindell, Alan Copelson, and Harry Riskin. And we would get together from time to time to discuss our life plan, what we wanted to do when we grew up. So we were all in our 50s. Only Stuart Sindell had a plan, and he's the only one who actually followed through on it. My thought was that I had some interest in teaching, and so maybe I could start out tutoring a little bit at the neighborhood house. When I first started tutoring there, to kind of put some meaning in my life, we all talked about that, and I started to realize I couldn't make it on a regular schedule, and guilt is a terrible thing. Jewish guilt, and Christian guilt, Irish guilt, it's terrible. So I also noticed something else. When the volunteer tutors from Drew or from Del Barton, from Newark Academy, when they would come in, the kids would run to them. So I said, why am I knocking my brains against the wall here? Let me hire a kid from Morristown High who needs a job in the afternoon. Nothing wrong with working at Burger King or McDonald's or whatever, but maybe they could teach a little bit. So we came up with a plan that would pay them $10 an hour, a little bit above minimum wage, but enough to get their interest. And if they did a good job working and teaching, then we would find them a summer job. And people like Nabe Copelson, and let me jump ahead here because I wasn't following my schedule. So Normandy Real Estate agreed to hire, Morris County Bar Association, the Morristown Medical Center, Dr. Ciosi of the Morristown Medical Group, Avis and Young, and our firm, Welshchester Gleaning Matone. And these young people came to our offices and were very, very impressive. You're going to hear from two of them tonight. One young lady had worked at the Morris County Bar Association, and the other young man had worked at Dr. Ciosi's office of the Morristown Medical Group. It's a tremendous thing that you'll see, the results of their experiences. Other major supporters included the Morristown Chamber of Commerce, Stu and Jan Sandell, Nadasky Kopelson Architects, Robert Cox, Frank Mertz, and Deborah Imperator of the Hanson Group. Special thanks goes out to the Princeton Outreach. They came into our program and really energized it. They started to work with our students, our tutors, to show them how to apply to college, what colleges they could. You won't believe this, but several of our people who have received full scholarships didn't even know about the process, and thanks to their help and encouragement, we've got 2 students tonight with full rides, one to Drew University and one to Seton Hall. So thank you. Thank you, Jack Fritz. Thank you, Sandy Millspaw. And thank you, Len Grabowski. Thank you very much. One other thing, when I started to go and try to follow a regular schedule, every time I went to the tutoring room, there was a gentleman there. Very modest, quiet man, Chris Lee. And he was there every day. Anytime I ever showed up, the kids relied on him and loved him. And he's the volunteer of the year, really. Chris Lee, 5 years, every day, never missed a day. And there's a beautiful story about him in the brochure. You have to read it. It's incredible. His father died when he was a young man. His mother got sick. He got a scholarship to Rutgers, met a gentleman by the name of Blaustein, who happened to be the president of Rutgers. He mentored Chris Lee, and then he provided a scholarship for Chris to go get his MBA. Chris started an internet company, one of the largest in Australia, and has been extremely successful. No way in the world did I ever assume that that man had such a story behind him. A tremendous person and an inspiration to anybody. So, thank you also to Mrs. Hernandez and the student tutors. Mrs. Hernandez picked these tutors, and boy, the Giants could use her as a draft. She really knocked the leather off the ball on her picks. Tremendous. Just to finish, if you're ever feeling a little down and tired at work or whatever, just think about those dancers tonight. I looked around the room and there was a smile on every person's face in this room. That's what will happen to you if you ever just need a little lift. Go to the neighborhood house, get there around 3:30 when they come off the buses, and all of a sudden you'll feel this energy and a smile, and it's the best experience in the world. So thank you for your support. Thank you for helping me.
Morristowngreen.com